Chocolate chip bagels kick ass. So let me show you how to make them. First, we're going to make a Polish, which is 125 grams of bread flour and 125 grams of water with half a gram of yeast or less than 1/8 teaspoon. Mix that well and leave it at room temperature or in the fridge until it triples in size. The next day, grab your super bubbly Polish, 10 grams of diastatic malt powder, 20 grams of salt, 115 grams of bread flour, 405 grams of water, 1 teaspoon of yeast, and 1 tablespoon of honey. Knead all of that for 6 to 8 minutes. And I highly recommend you finish it by hand to build up your mental repertoire of dough. Let that proof for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on your room temperature, and then portion into 125 gram pieces. Pre-shape them like so. And let them bench rest until the gluten has relaxed. Next, it's time for the magic to happen. Grab your cute little logs, roll them into rectangles, and put as much chocolate in them as your heart desires. Leave a tiny area without chocolate and roll it up as tight as possible. Pinch the seams and roll one of the ends flat. Grab the opposite end, seam side up, and wrap it around to the flattened end. Make sure everything is nice and sealed, and repeat. Let your bagels proof for a little while, definitely less than an hour. You don't want them to double in size because bagels aren't really meant to be that fluffy, and they would be hell to pick up and drop in the water. Bring a large pot of water to a boil and add 1 tablespoon of barley malt syrup or honey, maple syrup, or molasses. Boil your bagels. I like to do mine for 30 seconds on each side because I don't really like them when they're like real tough, but you could do a minute on each side or more. Put them back on an oiled sheet of parchment paper, wash them with egg white, and bake at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 23 minutes, making sure to flip the trays halfway for even coloring. And boom, you did it. The most scrumptiously delicious chocolate chip bagels of all time. I mean, just look at them. And I'll be honest,